Alright guys, and welcome to this video where we take a look at the DJI RS3 and answer the question, is it still worth it in 2023? Let's find out. Before we start, I want you to know that DJI have not sent me the gimbal, they're not paying me. I purchased this myself and I've been using it for about a year now. You probably already know this by now, but let's take a quick look at the main features. I've got my notes up here, let's have a look. See, RS3 has a maximum payload capacity of 10 pounds. That's about 4.5 kilos, probably. Now that's perfect for most professional setups. My current setup is the A7S III with the Tamron 28-75. That's pretty much all I ever put on this. I could have the monitor and even the microphone on there, but I tend to mount that just on the side here. But for me, that's fine and there's absolutely no problems. Okay, the battery life will last you up to 12 hours. I mean, that's brilliant if you're filming anything for a long period of time. I myself shoot tons of weddings and events, and I'm literally shooting for a good 10 hours. Now, of course, you can buy additional batteries and switch them up pretty quick. All you do is just release this lock lever here, press the button, pull the battery from underneath, put the new one in, lock it up, and you're good to go. Now, an obvious feature is the stabilization. Okay, we have 3-axis stabilization with a 4th axis to help with vibrations and any micro movements. And if you're like me, holding this thing for 5 hours, 6 hours straight, you tend to shake a little bit, so that feature's got you covered. You've got wireless shutter control. Yeah, this is another feature that I really like. So with most cameras, you have Bluetooth. Once you pair this with Bluetooth, you can use the record button on the side here. Just hit it, it's gonna record, hit it again, it's gonna stop record. Same with taking photos. You're not having to touch the camera, which might ruin the footage. So yeah, having that feature is a bonus. Okay, we've got a 1.8 OLED touchscreen. This is great too. The user interface is brilliant. I've never had any problems with it. It's very easy to use. I mean, I can use it, so if I can, anybody can. But another great feature is this switch on the side, which helps you alternate between modes. So looking at this, you have pan follow, pan tilt follow, and FPV modes. Now on the front, you have this customizable front dial. This thing I really like. I've only ever used that to control the zoom, but for that you can need the additional focus motor, but that comes with the bundle, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Now you can customize the wheel and use it in a bunch of creative ways. You can use it to control the focus, the zoom, the aperture, even the ISO, which is pretty cool. Plus it's just so nice to roll your finger across it. That was weird. I don't know why I said that. That was weird. Okay, what's next? So yeah, quick release plates. You've got a bunch on here, which is great if you're needing to switch up between the gimbal, different tripods and sliders. So that feature is a great one too. Real quick guys, if you've made it this far and liked the video, please do me a favor and hit the like, it makes a difference. And if you want to see more of my face, perhaps hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell so you get notified when I put up new videos. Okay, back to the video. Now I've left this feature to last because for me, it's the most useful feature, and that is the, what do they call it? What do they call it? They call it the automated axis lock. This thing is brilliant. Okay, so if you're like me and you're running around shoots, putting the gimbal down, picking it up, switching up lenses, anything that requires you just moving around or not actually using the gimbal, this feature is incredible. How it works is you simply press the power button on the side. Now it's completely locked up. At this point, you can switch up lenses. It's not gonna be swinging around, potentially hitting something and breaking it. When you're ready to start up again, you just hit the power button and you're good to go. Now to turn off the gimbal, you simply hold the power button and it will lock up. Okay, so before I mentioned the focus motor, and that's what you get when you purchase the bundle. Now I opted into buying the bundle simply out of convenience. I knew I'd need the case, the handle had great reviews, and yes, I just wanted to try the focus motor. So let's take a look at what you get with the bundle. First of all, here's the case. I don't particularly like the case, actually. This is probably the only thing that I don't like. It's nice, it's a hard case, but for some reason they didn't put any rubber stoppers on the bottom or on the back. It would have been useful, you know, you put this thing down on the floor all the time, outdoors as well, so I'm not sure why they can just put some rubber stoppers on there. Also, the zip. DJI, why did you have the zip close up, you know, at the bottom? I don't know why you didn't just set it back and just have it zip up and be at the top here. I'll tell you why I don't like it, because this is what happened to me. So I open up the bag, set the gimbal up, got all my bits out, closed the case. I thought I'd zipped it up, I hadn't. I then came back to pick up the bag and obviously it's open. So as soon as I picked it up, it opened up and everything fell out. Luckily nothing broke, but that really pissed me off. I'm not sure why they went with this design, having the zip. It's just stupid. Obviously you can zip it up and leave it on the side, but why? We're just now confusing things. But yeah, apart from that, it's an okay case. Inside, you've got various compartments. for cables. The focus motor itself, it has 2 sections, so the gimbal will go in this, you can wrap it up. The handle, again, great feature. I mount it onto the side and do sort of the briefcase angle, I guess. I don't know what they call it, but yeah, very useful for getting the low angle shots. Okay, so let's have a look at the motor. The footprint is really small. I really like it. You basically just feed the rod onto the side, connect this on. Once you put the rubber band around the actual focus ring or the zoom ring, you just plug it in with the cables that come with it, and that's it. You use the wheel on the front, and that's it. It works really well. It's very responsive. You can switch it up on how fast it goes as well. So yeah, extremely useful. And again, I've only ever used it for the zoom. You know, when I'm doing like a parallax shot, I get a nice zoom in there as well, just to add a bit more depth to the shot. But yeah, it's great. You also get a bunch of cables and everything you're going to need to get it up and running. But yeah, if I was you, I would opt in for the bundle just for the convenience of having it all in one place. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so a lot of great features about the RS3. Let's talk about some of the cons. I don't have any. I really don't. For me anyway, I really don't. Honestly, if I needed to use this gimbal for anything other than what I use it for now, it would have a heavier payload, in which case I would just opt in for the RS3 Pro. But yeah, there's not much difference between this and the Pro, especially if you have like a mirrorless setup, which is what I have. Let's have a look at the differences, the main differences anyway. Okay, so the main differences are, yeah, the payload. You can have a heavier setup on there. You've got the carbon fiber on there, so it makes it a bit lighter, which could be useful, and a slightly increased battery life. So again, as I say, I've used this thing for sort of a good 10 hours straight and it's not let me down. So those features aren't really going to be enough to convince me to get that over this with my current setup. Again, if I went any heavier, then yeah, I'll look at upgrading. The fact is, the RS3 is a brilliant gimbal, for me anyway. My footage is super smooth. The controls, the versatility, the functions, they're all great. It's never let me down yet. And yes, there are a bunch of other gimbals on the market. There's always new technologies. You know, there's new gimbals coming out every year. And this still holds up to the current competition. So to answer the question, is the RS3 still worth it in 2023? Yeah, it is. Thanks, DJI.